Hello there, I am Anastasia and today I'm going to be reviewing the Hogwarts yearbook. Yes, that's right, I go to Hogwarts and every year we put out a video yearbook so people can kind of have memories of their best chums. Well, this year a certain Harry Potter got to decide what the yearbook thing would be. Surprise, surprise. And I guess I'm just going to give you my final comments on the whole thing. Starts off bit weird considering the fact we're seeing Harry Potter's backstory. I've resigned myself to the fact that this is probably just a Harry Potter fan film made by Dumbledore. Also, are we going to talk about the fact that he was living in a closet? Because I feel like Dumbledore should have done something if he knew he was living in a closet. Being perfectly honest, wouldn't be surprised if Dumbledore crowdfunded this on GoFundMe. Or there's two different websites. I don't know, one of those. There are literally dozens of letters and he picks the one that's in the middle of the room on top of a table. Jumps onto the table, not even just in the middle of the room, on top of the table. Okay, that's a great choice. The whole why he was not in Ravenclaw thing. It's making so much sense now why there weren't any sweets on the trolley when we were on the Hogwarts Express, because Harry ate them all. Makes sense now. I literally just wanted one chocolate frog. Did I get any? No. Why? Oh, Harry, we'll take the lot. Oh, that's great, Harry. No, that's really good thinking. Can't wait to not have any snacks on my way to school. Thank you so much. Finally, in this yearbook, you get a shot of me going up the hallway to talk to Professor McGonagall about sorting. Now is where the Slytherin part comes in. Yes, I'm a proud Slytherin. Check the robes. Right there. No wonder everyone thinks we're terrible. When you look at how Minerva says the names, she goes Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. Okay, no wonder people think we're evil. You literally just said that like you stepped in a pile of hippogriff poop. That's fine. Not to mention that you do a shot of Draco Malfoy and Crabbe and Goyle. That's who represents us. Little Mr. Richie Rich and two people who had no other traits from any other house, so now you're just going to put them in Slytherin because they're leftovers? Cool. Accurate representation. Malfoy casually being like, oh, some wizarding families are better than others. I'll help you find the right kind. Something like that. No wonder people think we're snobby when you show that as the representation. Honestly, I'm thinking this whole thing was just edited by Harry, funded by Dumbledore. I would like to put for the record that we don't think everyone is terrible and Malfoy is actually just like a jerk. Throwing that out there, pull your wand out your bum. Fondly remembering that Dumbledore definitely included a do not die a most painful death thing in his opening speech, which again, looking back, a little creepy. Also, not surprised that people think we're evil when you say Slytherin and the music turns dark and scary and like we're all going to be murdered at any second. Makes sense why Slytherins are connotated with evil. And then you have Hufflepuff and Gryffindor and it's all da 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 da. That's Jurassic Park, but you get the gist. Cut out my sorting habit, that's fine. Expected nothing less from Harry James Potter. It's fine, whatever. Not bitter. It's great. Would like to point out the fact that when Harry gets called up there, he mumbles not Slytherin under his breath like 20 times in front of everyone in the Great Hall, and the sorting hat says it aloud and then puts me in Gryffindor and everyone's like, oh my gosh, great. Are we going to talk about how rude it is to just say not Slytherin a million times? Okay, now we're showing classes, which is great. First was Transfiguration, where Harry was late. No one is surprised. Then we go to potions and Snape is doing, you know, a very lovely lecture and Harry's writing notes even though literally nothing he's saying is noteworthy. No wonder he gets in trouble. Not salty about not being at the Gryffindor table considering Seamus was muttering a spell about turning water into wine and Harry asked what Seamus was trying to do. The next scene is us in flying class where Malfoy and Harry were being spectacularly stupid and a little concerned that nothing happened after that except McGonagall was like, hey, play sports. No one else concerned about that. After we've just left a bunch of 11-year-old wizards with brooms out unattended, we now go to a Quidditch match, which we were actually doing really well at, and then people were getting mad because a bunch of people got bludgeoned and beat when two of the words in the sport are bludger and beater. Just saying. Also, I forgot that literally no professor did anything when Harry was flailing on the broom, and Snape was the only one who tried to help, but Hermione thinks that he's jinxing him. Why would he be out in the open if he was jinxing him? That makes no sense. A Slytherin would never get caught doing something out in the open. My favourite part of the first year was when there was a troll that spectacularly get caught in the dungeon. So of course Quirrell comes in, alerts us that there are trolls in the premises, and we're like, okay, great, we will just be calm about this and figure it out. And then we get told that we are all to go back to our dorm rooms. Only problem is, where are the Slytherin dorm rooms? The dungeon, that's right. So we have to go back to where this big smelly troll is, even though we could die on the way just because our dorms are in the dungeon. Oh, just peachy. Send us there right away, why don't? Someone gifted a bunch of 11-year-olds an invisibility cloak, and no surprise when the first thing they do is sneak into the restricted section. Didn't get caught, not bitter. Again, Slytherin just not losing any points this whole time, gaining points for brilliance and excellency, and Gryffindor losing no points even though they break a million rules a second. I'm fine, everything's... You know what you should see in that mirror, Harry? Maybe a study schedule and a sense of following the rules since you break them every 2 seconds. That'd be great. Oh, okay, they're going to detention. Great. Oh, it's in the Forbidden Forest, where all the man-killing creatures are, and they will most likely die. Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. Oh, you're gonna split up and leave them unattended? No, that's great. I think that's a good idea. You should do that. Did they literally just sneak out again? I mean, no one's catching them? No charms are left anywhere to make sure they don't keep sneaking out, other than Neville? Okay. I'd also like to state on record that we all thought Quirrell just went to Ilvermorny to teach for a session. So the fact that he had the Dark Lord on his head is a bit of a surprise. Now, of course, we get to the House Cup announcements and who was in first place, who got the most points, who had the highest grades? Slytherin. Who gets the House Cup? Gryffindor. Now, it's fine, we were just good all year. We didn't go out to pet a 3-headed dog or play death chess, but no, please, award it to... Oh, Harry, you get a bunch of points because you defeated the Dark Lord that was left on the back of a head that Dumbledore literally hired. Oh no, that makes sense. Makes as much sense as having a hive of bees that you bring into a crowded room and then capturing all the bees and letting them out and then applauding yourself. Okay, so you did literally fix the problem that you caused in the first place. Okay, great, makes a lot of sense. I would also like to point out that we had literally no idea what went on under the school, so we just thought Dumbledore was awarding points for Hermione being smart, Ron playing chess, and Harry just being Harry. Not to mention the fact that Neville got points for being a good friend while we were stuck studying and, I don't know, listening to the rules. Overall, this is a death school, and I'm sure I'll be back next year because it's tuition free. So be sure to check out my video next time when I report on, I'm sure, Harry almost getting us all killed again and winning the House Cup for being Dumbledore's favourite while he pins posters of Harry around his headmaster's room. Great, hey, Mr. Managed.